Get down, man.
That's all right.
I'm ready.
There's obviously a lot of excitement about the prospects that are here. What do you see? What's the potential for this group if they stay together for any kind of length of time?
Well, we should win a couple ball games, I'm hoping. Who knows? I mean, we obviously had a lot of talent last year, and there was a lot of talent here. There was a lot of talent in Reading. So, you combine those two things together, should win some games. It should be a fun summer.
You've got a lot of talented groups. How does this one compare to what you've had over the last few years?
Give me about 5 months, and I'll let you know. No, I don't. I mean, it's a good group of guys, talented group of guys that want to work hard, guys that want to be here, guys that love to play baseball. So it stacks up there with the best team that I've had so far on paper. But as John Kruk said on TV, you can't swing with a piece of paper.
Dusty, Roman Quinn, this seems to be a really big year for him, and obviously staying healthy. You've been with him. Just where do you evaluate where he is?
Well, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing with Roman. I mean, we've seen when Roman's on the field, it's a special thing, and he can do special things. He can impact the game in so many ways, with his speed, his power, his defense, his arm. So it's a big year for him just to stay healthy and get him back to Philadelphia and let him contribute at that level.
How do you think that helped him, Roman, and Alfaro time in the big leagues last year?
Well, I think it helps anybody that can get a little bit of time in the big leagues. There's a lot of things that go on up there. There's more media, there's more preparation, there's more advanced scouting. You're being pulled from a few more directions than normal in the minor leagues. So I think it's good to go up there, get your feet wet. And I think the organization did a good job of getting the right guys up there. They earned it, and I think it helped them out a lot. I think they realize what it is to be a big leaguer and what they need to do here to continue to improve and to get back to the big leagues and stay in the big leagues.
You've got a couple players whose dads played in the majors, and you have that connection. How does that help you as you're coming up through the system to have that person?
Well, I think it's an advantage for all of us that have had the opportunity to grow up around baseball. I think the comfort level of being in the clubhouse, of being around guys, I think you realize that when you go to the big leagues or you go to the next level, there's not that awe factor as much. You know that, the superstars in the big leagues are normal guys, and I think as a kid growing up, some of those guys were your idols. But if you've been around baseball, those guys are normal guys. Those guys, eat a cheeseburger for dinner or whatever. So it's just a comfort level, I think. And I think that kind of goes back to the same thing with Roman and Jorge last year going to the big leagues, that now they kind of have that comfort level, and they know what's expected of them. And I think that's the advantage of guys that have been around baseball as kids.
Where has Alfaro made his most progressive since he's come to the organization?
Defensively. He's improved a lot. He quieted himself down behind home plate. He's thrown better, more accurate, higher percentage of throwing, I think. I mean, I don't know how the percentages were there, but from when I first saw him to where he is now, he's better. So I think defensive side of it, I think he's done a tremendous job of working at the physical defensive side of it, and I think he got a taste of what we need to do mentally in September last year, and we're going to try to continue that here with advanced scouting stuff as much as we can get him. So he's comfortable in that situation, because as a catcher and as a pitcher, you get up there and there's a lot of information that needs to be brought to your attention, brought to the pitcher's attention, advanced scouting and stuff like that. So I think it was a little bit of a shock for him. Last year, we try to give him as much information as we can on that stuff, but obviously it's still the minor leagues, and we don't have all of it. So this year it's another step for him, and we have more information for him than we did last year. So I think that'll be a big advantage for him.
Dusty, what do you think JP has to do really just to kind of refine himself to get ready for the next level?
He just has to be consistent. I think, we know that his defense has gotten better. And, it was good at the beginning when he first signed, but it keeps getting better. His backhand is a lot better than it was when I first saw him. I think consistency is a big key for him, as it is for all these guys. But on the offensive side of it, I think obviously controlling the strike zone, we talk about it all the time. He does such a good job of it. But I think, he's now at the point where he's probably going to have to take some shots. He gets ahead in the count, try to drive a ball in the gap. Without getting too big and trying to do too much. He's going to hit some home runs. I think personally he's going to hit some home runs eventually in the big leagues. But for right now, to be patient like he is, but then to take those opportunities when he gets himself ahead in the count and drive a ball in the gap.
Do you have any plan on a rotation or who's going to be starting the opener?
For pitching?
Yeah.
Yeah, Thompson's going to start the opener, and we'll go from there.
The years that Dylan and Reese had last year, do you expect them to be pitched differently this year with the more veterans here and then just, sample size what they had last year?
Well, yeah, I think, anytime you go up to the next level, there's going to be more scouting reports on them. They're going to have more information on our guys. We're going to have more information on their guys. So I think they'll probably be pitched different at times, but, I mean, you look at the lineup and, you really want to get to Nick Williams? You want to pitch around Dylan Cousins and Reese Hoskins to get to Nick Williams? I wouldn't want to, so they got to figure out how to get one of these guys out. So I think it's going to help them to be in a lineup that's so deep. I think it'll help them control the strike zone and give them the ability to swing at strikes more and not have to do too much.
Was there anybody that you saw in spring training, maybe even guys that aren't at this level yet, that really kind of opened your eyes?
There's a lot of guys down there. I mean, that's the beauty of this organization where we're at right now in the minor leagues. There's a ton of guys, and one of the guys that everybody talked about a lot was Kingery. He played for me last year, and he had a tremendous spring, and just needs a little bit more time. But he did a real nice job, and there's some guy, Drew Anderson, who's going to pitch here tonight in this exhibition game. He showed a really good arm, maturity, I thought. Look for a big year from Drew. But there's a lot of guys. I mean, you don't really want to call out too many guys like that because there'll be a guy here in another week that everybody will want to talk about. Hopefully there's more than one of them.
Is there one way in which JP, Nick, and Cousins will fill out the lineup based on who you're facing?
No, well, the lineup that we're going to use tonight is Quinn Crawford, Alfaro, Cousins, Hoskins, Williams. That'll pretty much be it most of the time. I like left, right, left, and I like kind of guys where they hit. Just kind of leave them in the same spot if I can. We used, for the most part last year, when JP was there, JP hit second, Alfaro hit third, Cuz hit fourth, Hoskins hit fifth. Obviously, when Alfaro's not playing, we might move some things around. But we've got the ability now to, with as many guys as we have on this team, that, I mean, Taylor Featherston can hit third when Alfaro's out of the lineup for whatever reason. So kind of have the ability to keep guys in their spot. I know there's some managers that like to move lineups around, but there's some really good managers that used to just stick whoever that person was in there playing for the day in that spot to keep everybody else, because you disrupt the whole lineup sometimes when you move one guy. If a guy's comfortable hitting fifth or third or whatever, and then you kind of jumble everything up just because one guy gets a day off. I like the consistency of trying to keep him in a spot or two.
How will you handle defensively the outfield? Will Roman be in center?
Roman, he'll play a majority of center, but he'll also play left and right. As we saw last year in September, he's got to be able to play left and right. We have a center fielder signed to a long-term contract right now, so he's going to have the ability to play left and right. But he's obviously a tremendous center fielder, so selfishly, I like him there every night. But the guy we got in Philadelphia is darn good, so we need to make sure that he's comfortable in left and right too. And Perk's going to play some center, and Dylan might even play some center. So he played a little bit for us last year. But I think it's just the natural progression of everything to let these guys be comfortable at all three positions.
JP and Nick both had some struggles here last year for the first time, really, and talked about knowing Philly was next step, kind of getting their minds. Did you have any advice for them on how to put that in the back of their mind? It's obviously easier said than done.
Yeah, obviously easier said than done. I think big thing is that didn't work out well for him to try to play that way, and I don't think it's really worked out for anybody well to try to play for something that at a level that you're not at yet. They have to come in here and do their job and be consistent here, play for today's game, play the opponent we're playing today, and everything else will take care of itself. I think that's a big thing, is you have to play in the now. You have to be ready to go that day. I think you're in AAA for a reason. Everybody has a story, whether it's going up or coming down or whatever it is, but this is your big leagues today. And if you take care of your business and you treat this as your big leagues, everything will work out.
You've won with these guys in Reading, and now you're all up here. How big of a luxury is it for you to have that continuity coming into this year?
Well, I think it's nice. I think the big thing is there's not really that feeling out period of, what does this guy expect of me? What do I expect of them? They kind of know. We're all comfortable with each other. So I think that's the biggest thing. We can just hit the ground running and let's go. I don't have to have a lot of meetings or anything because they all know what's going on pretty much. It's just a comfort level, I think, is a big thing. I think the more comfortable you can make players, the better they're going to play. It's like all of us in any job we have. If you're comfortable doing your job and you enjoy it, probably going to do a better job at it.
DH spot, do you expect to rotate, or is anybody kind of...
No, we'll rotate it. We got too many guys that are too good of defenders to not put them out on defense all the time. So, yeah, it'll just rotate. Maybe draw it out of a hat or something. I don't know. Figure it out.
Can you talk about Charlie joining the staff?
It's awesome. It's great. Last year, we got John Mizrock here for half the season. Charlie's going to be here for, I don't know yet. He might stay the whole season. He might stay half the season. But it's great to have a guy with his resume, a guy that has done all the things he's done in baseball, and he's been coaching with young players. He knows a lot of these guys. I mean, he saw Nick Williams play in high school, so it's kind of neat to have a guy around to bounce more ideas off of. I mean, it's a big thing now in a lot of organizations to have that fourth coach full time, and it's a nice set of hands to have, but also it's a nice mind to be able to bounce things off of. We all have different ideas and different philosophies and kind of different ways we're going to go about different things as far as how we're going to get these guys better, and he's just another great baseball person to have here. So I'm excited to have him. He's been great.
Talk about Valentine just a bit. I know that a lot of people might have been surprised with the numbers and stats he put up in Grapefruit League. No surprise to him, probably no surprise to you having managed him before.
No, he was, a guy, obviously, he's got some pedigree, so I think he walked into spring training, he was comfortable. The other thing is that was a pretty comfortable spring training. There's not a quote-unquote long-term superstar up there. There's not a Miguel Cabrera or somebody like that, to where everybody was pretty comfortable with everybody there, and it's a bunch of young guys, trying to find their place. So I think he stepped right in and was comfortable. And like I said earlier, when you're comfortable and get a little bit of confidence going, anything can happen. And he had a tremendous spring. Very proud of him. He handled himself well, and that's what you need to do when you go into your first spring training is handle yourself as a professional. And if you get a couple hits, great. But even if he wouldn't have got hits, the way he took his at bats, the way he did his work, the way he played defense was outstanding.
You've had Obi before. How do you think he's handled what's happened to him in the last month?
I haven't had a lot of time to talk to him yet, but seems like everything's gone pretty good. He's been through a lot. He's been a guy that started and extended and bounced here and bounced there. So it's almost like this year bouncing from team to team doesn't have seemed to have affected him much, but I really haven't had time to sit down and talk to him. Those guys stayed till the very end. I was in minor league camp, so I talked to him briefly the other day about it. But I think he'll be fine. I think these guys get to a point where they know what they need to do to get themselves ready for the game. And I think he was back with us long enough to realize, that it's a good place. And I think he enjoys playing here. Obviously, would like to be in the major leagues. But I think coming back to this organization, I think he's comfortable. I think it'll be fine. He'll be fine.
You know how close Eflin is to potentially being ready to get back here?
No, I don't know.
Garcia, your closer?
Yeah, probably. But the thing is for most of these guys, if not all of them out of the bullpen, I want to make sure that we get them more than one inning. So I don't want to bring in Louis with the ninth inning every day. He needs to throw an inning and a third. He needs to throw 2 innings because he's probably not going to go up to Philadelphia and be the closer. So I want all these guys to have the ability to, especially the roster guys, to go up there and be able to go more than an inning. Hopefully he can go at least 2 innings. So that there's not an excuse of why didn't we call this guy up? Well, he's only been going 1 inning. So for their development, for them to get back to the big leagues, which is why we're all here, is my job to try to get them back to the big leagues. I want him to go more than 1 inning. So he'll probably close a lot of games, but you'll see probably a lot of 1 1/3, 2 innings. If we're up by 3 runs, he might pitch the 8th and 9th inning. then he'd probably be down for a day or two. So we'll use somebody else too. I mean, we got a lot of guys down there that have done a lot of things. Beato's closed, Marriott's closed. They're talking about guys Marriott's got saves in the big league. So there's plenty of guys down there that can do it. But yeah, Louis, he's kind of was the last guy here. I mean, if you look at things, the way things shook out coming down from the big leagues. So I'm going to do everything I can to get him back to the big leagues, and I don't think he does him any good just to throw one inning all the time and be the closer. But he's going to throw those high leverage innings.
Anybody else? Maybe one more before we let him go. Anybody else?
Seeing Brock make the team and the reaction to that, is that kind of a reminder of why you guys do all this?
Oh yeah, that's special. I mean, great person. I mean, we sat in meetings for years, and some of us managers had to hold up our hand and say, "I take him. I want him on my team. I want him on my team." And those are the guys that when they make it, it's really, really special. And talked to him through a text message and talked to him in person the next day after he made it. So it's good. It's very happy for him. I mean, all of them that make it, you're happy for. But some guys are a little longer shot than others. And obviously, where he was at the start of his career with his numbers. He says he's had plans to make it to the big leagues. I got to say that in the back of his mind, he said, "What am I doing? I got no chance." But really happy for him. It's great. Great to see. Hopefully he can stay for a long time now.
Good. Thanks, Dusty.
Yep, no problem.
Thanks, Dusty.